So today we're going to talk about angle relationships. You will have a quiz coming up very shortly on this, and it won't take us too long to get through the notes. So the first thing is we're going to talk about different types of angles. The first one we're going to talk about is vertical angles. Vertical angles are angles that are across from one another on two intersecting lines, and they are always going to be congruent. Remember, congruent means equal or the same. And this is a symbol for congruent. So here is our example. I have these two angles. This one and this one are going to both be the same. So if this one is 40 degrees, this one is also going to be 40 degrees. You can also do this when you're making this angle. You choose this side and you just keep going straight on the line. You'll choose this side and keep going straight on the line. These are vertical angles. Our next one we're going to look at is to the left, are adjacent angles. Adjacent means next to each other. So I'm going to highlight next to. They're going to share a common side. So for instance, here is, if I have this angle A and angle B are next to each other. So angle A and angle B are adjacent because they are next to each other. They're going to share a side, so we share this side. Okay. Our next one we're going to talk about is complementary angles. Complementary angles are any two angles whose sum is equal to 90 degrees. Remember, we can tell if an angle is a 90-degree angle because it's going to have a square in the corner. So here we could have 30 degrees and 60 degrees. 30 plus 60 equals 90 degrees. So this is a complementary angle. It's any two angles that add up to 90. And our final type of angle we need to talk about is supplementary angles. So supplementary angles is any two angles whose sum is 180 degrees. So here we are. 180 degrees is a straight line. So we could have 180. It's going to equal 180 degrees. So one of the things I like to do is for 180, I think S for straight, S for supplementary, and then I can connect it and make it look like 180 degrees. I know supplementary and straight. And then also when we talk about supplementary and complementary, we can do the same thing similar to this. Complementary starts with a C, and I can draw my dots and make it look like a 90 degrees. Okay? So now that we've talked about the four different types of angle relationships, we're going to do a few examples. So we're going to look, and I have angle A and angle B. So I look at these two angles, they share a side, and they're next to each other, and they form a straight line. So they are going to be what type of angles? They are supplementary angles. Angle E and angle B are across from each other. If I go on this leg of angle B, it goes all the way down. If I go on this leg of angle B, it goes all the way down. They are vertical. Angle D and angle E, if I look at these, they share a side. It's going to be a 90-degree angle. So what type of angle is that? It's complementary. And my final one is angle B and angle C. They don't add up to 90 or 180. What type of angles are they? They are just adjacent. Now, it's important when we're thinking about adjacent angles to realize that in this case, when we had D and E, they were complementary, but they're also adjacent. When we had A and B, they are supplementary, but they're also adjacent. Vertical angles are never, ever adjacent.